So I vow to you right here and right now, we will not be silenced. We will not give in.
A strong response from Dr. Mohammed Oz after 10 physicians said that he shouldn't be allowed to continue to teach at Columbia University. He joins us live to talk about his choices and his critics. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Lauren.
First of all, let's look at the other doctor's complaint. This is pretty serious. They accuse you of, quote, an egregious lack of integrity, promoting quack treatments and cures in the interest of personal financial gain. They go on to say that Dr. Oz is guilty of either outrageous conflicts of interest or flawed judgments about what constitutes appropriate medical treatments, or both. So let's get right to the point right at the top, first of all, about the conflicts of interest here. Have you at any point, you or anyone on your television team, have you ever been given money or any sort of compensation to promote or push a product on TV?
No. We're a television show just like you are, and you have to have commercial sponsors on network television. They're all disclosed. Those are the commercials you see during the show. But I've never sold anything off the show, never received a penny in return for it. And if I could just explain, I think part of the misconception that's out there, in this case, by the way, I think there was a conflict of interest on the part of the authors, which I'll get to. But I think a lot of folks get those spammed notices in their inbox that looks like I'm trying to sell them weight loss products. Those are not from me. I don't sell those products. I warn my audience every single day on the show not to get suckered by those folks. I wish I'd never mentioned weight loss products because it hijacked the message of the show and has fooled so many people. But I do not have a conflict of interest. I think that's been well demonstrated.
You mentioned on the show that consumers, your viewers, have the right to know exactly what they're eating, what it could do to them. Yeah, you did push on your show something called a miracle pill that can burn fat fast. I mean, we all know there's no miracle pill out there. Can you see how those two things might contradict each other?
Lauren, I wish I'd never used the word miracle on the show, and that's what I was alluding to earlier. And I haven't mentioned a weight loss product, a supplement on the show in a year. I made the change. We, I think, have done very, very well with ensuring that confusion no longer exists. That's not what this letter was about. Mm-hmm. If you look at the letter in its entirety, it's a bunch of general accusations that you say to someone you want to hurt, calling me all kinds of names with very few details, except one little link they included back to something called Arctic apples, which is a genetically modified organism. And these GMO foods, which again, I don't even know if there's an issue with them. Most doctors think they're just fine. But Americans aren't always comfortable with the idea of genetically modified foods in their diet, so I think they deserve to know if they're there or not. So labeling is the big battleground, and 64 countries around the world have it. I've advocated for it on the show. I don't think I'm wrong to do that, and I think my audience has a right to understand that perspective on my part.
Do you think it's possible to have a show on television that provides solid medical evidence without making any endorsements or really pushing any products? Because in all fairness, I do have to say that, and a lot of your fans feel the same way, that you do a very good job explaining medical issues or bringing things to light that people need to be alert about. But then, you know, there's different things that some people do see as endorsements.
Well, when I talk about hardcore medical topics, how to reduce the chance of cancer or heart disease, there's a lot more information that I can pull from. So I have a very meticulous medical unit that spends a lot of time trying to make sure that every word that I say on the show is vetted. When we move into less conventional approaches, be it prayer or some treatment from China or some nutritional idea that a celebrity is using in their own life and that works for them, there's a lot less information to tap into. So we do the best we can to open up the possibilities so viewers can choose and pick what they desire. But we don't sell things off the shelf. And we try to be thoughtful in how we express them. Obviously, when you're talking to people in an enthusiastic, energized manner, you're not going to wordsmith everything you do. But the viewers of our show understand that if it's a minister talking about prayer, it's a little less of hardcore medicine than if I'm giving you tips about how to reduce the chance of getting cancer.
All right, Dr. Oz, thank you very much. We appreciate your response.
Take care, Lauren.
And you can see Dr. Oz weekdays at 2 right here on Fox 4. It is